This is Alpha again with another tactical tips. This time it's on sniping. If you didn't know, my channel is dedicated to a lot of military stuff, and this is mostly about things you can do in video games or in like airsofting or paintball that real military people do, and it will enhance your performance for what is called noobs. I myself am a noob, so I don't care. But these really helped me, so I got my score from .2 to .95, so not that bad. Gonna set this up here. I guess I just made two noises. Can't find my black controller, which is one I like, but pull this over here so you can hear me a little easier. Okay, so sniping. Whoops, wrong class, but that's okay. When you're dealing with an open field, make sure that you have some kind of like open field like this. Has a lot of dead grass and stuff in it. Make sure you have some kind of foliage cover. Most people call them ghillie suits. That's what the military calls them. Other people call them tree suits or tree moss. Whatever you want to call them, make sure you have one. Because when you're laying down, it is a lot harder to see you, opposed to when you're laying down with like jeans and a t-shirt. This will help you a little bit. You can get them at like sports stores, like hunting stores, stuff like that. A lot of snipers in the real military don't go up to windows like this. Reason being is because your muzzle is sticking out of the window, and anybody that's around you will be able to see it. They like to snipe from inside the room. I usually do the same thing. It is not suggested to get on top of buildings or on top of any kind of terrain like that. Reason being, if you're out there and there is some kind of sunlight, or even just standing up there, you can see that treetop sticks out real well because it's over the mountain. If that was a person, you'd immediately see it from the distance and take them out, neutralize them, take care of them, whatever you want to call it. When breaching a building with a sniper rifle, do not use the sniper rifle unless if it's an automatic, because that is just lame and it's not very effective. Use something like machine pistols or something to that effect. When you're clearing a building and you know that there might be reinforcements, once you clear a room and you don't hear anything or anybody else coming, it's a good idea to block off the entrance. That way you know that nobody is behind you. Even if it doesn't kill them, once again, it will make a loud noise and you will know that somebody's back there. I'm trying not to say use the same tactics from the video before. I'll try to put a link in here. I'm not very good at doing the YouTube videos, but yeah. Clear the room like you did in the last video shows, and hopefully in the next video I can add some more stuff to talk about this video. It's not a good idea to stand in the middle of a doorway or something like that if you're going to be back. Also, you want to be kind of down, maybe in a corner or something, or maybe laying down to where it's not as easy to see you. Because if somebody sees you and you don't see them, then you're kind of out in the open and you're probably going to die. Stop saying hiding in places that people wouldn't commonly look. That is a good strategy for some, not everybody. If you're going to be sniping, it's a good idea to make sure that if you're airsofting, that your goggles or anything isn't going to be blocking your view. If you're on a video game, that you have something like 1080p or the best image that you can get, because a lot of times a little bit of higher definition may determine if you live or die in the video game. Not life and death situation in real life, but if you like a high KD, then maybe. Hiding in spots like this, typically not a good idea. Reason being, if somebody is running, they're not going to be looking directly at you more than likely, but if they do, they see you moving, you're not supposed to be there. When they're running up, just like in hunting, you're looking for things that aren't supposed to be there or things that stick out. That is brown. That is supposed to be brown. You can tell that. If somebody is in here and it is not brown and they see a black silhouette, then they are going to fire on you. Other things. It's not a good idea if you don't have a suppressor to stay in the same spot, or if you fire a non-suppressed weapon. Situation. You're sniping up here. You're laying, well, you're not laying, you're like kind of sitting back at the back, you know, where people can't really see you. Then you hear somebody behind you, and they're climbing up the ladder, and you know that they're not a friendly. Once they get to the top, if you fire something that's not suppressed, it is a good idea to run away from the area. Check your corners and stay, what they call stay frosty, stay aware of your surroundings, but get out of there. People are going to be looking for you, especially if it's something like search and destroy where there are no respawns. Another thing, like the top of the building thing or the side of the terrain, this is a good kind of visual thing for that. Hold on. If you know that the rooftop is supposed to be silver, because over there it is silver, and over there it is kind of silver. If you're sitting in the middle of here and it's silver around you, then you will create another silhouette, and you will be easily spotted and will be shot at. And if you're not quick enough, you will die. Simple, yes. Other things. Try to refrain from running with your sniper rifle. If you have a hard contact, which is a sighting of the enemy where shots are fired, it's probably not a good idea to have your rifle out, unless if it's semi-automatic. You might be able to get people that are fully automatic, but it's a good idea to carry your sidearm. Snipers today even will carry a sidearm for when they're going from building to building, room clearing, and when they're out in close quarters kind of area, from here to the building kind of situation. Because you don't want a big old sniper rifle. If there's somebody, like from me to those boxes, and that's if you want to spray the crap and nearly miss them and possibly hit a teammate, you don't want to be that close with your sniper rifle. You want to have something that you can control and shoot and make sure your friend isn't shot. Yes, you could probably make the argument that if your friend's over there, he deserves to be shot because he didn't shoot the enemy. Well, sometimes things aren't seen. I've seen it in a lot of cases, especially like coming around the IV line, intervisual line, where you can't see. If you don't check behind you, there could be an enemy that decided to go the same way at the same time, and you will be running next to them, and they will be a little faster than you, and you will realize that they are there. That happens quite commonly, that I've seen at least. Maybe not so much in real life because you have your peripheral vision, but it happens. Other things with sniping, if the types of sniper rifles really depend on the person. If you're one of those people that are timid, don't think you're really all that good, maybe you don't really, it's not, sniping really isn't your thing, it might be a good idea to go with the semi-automatic, possibly suppressed if you can get it that way. But if you're kind of the leaderish type, people who snipe in squads, the leader is usually the one that has the bolt action because he's the most experienced. He knows that if he puts one shot down range, that's one shot, one kill. But the other people might not be as good, or not as experienced, or maybe make a mistake, or whatever the thing is. You might want to be able to put 2, maybe 3 shots down range, especially when you're dealing with body shots. I know there's the saying one shot, one kill, but in real life that doesn't always happen. A lot of times it's usually 2 or maybe even 3 shots to kill a person, to be sure of it. If you hit them in the head, if it hits the side of their head and doesn't hurt their brain, it can be treated like a normal shot as long as there's no bone fragments in their brain. People have been shot close range by high caliber bullets into their brains and didn't die. Sorry. Usually that kind of thing is determined by if their brainstem is snapped. If any way, shape, or form your brainstem is snapped, you are instantly dead. You can't move anything. You might be able to see, depending. I don't know. I've never had my brain snapped before, my brainstem snapped. But I know that you can't move, you can't breathe, and the blood will eventually stop coming to your brain. People that are brain dead are usually that have a severed nerve, or the brain stem is severed but it is not snapped completely off, so they have to be on life support, or they might not be aware. Now, if you're going to be putting shots down range with a bolt action sniper rifle, you do not want to shoot them in the body, because if you shoot them in the body, say that was a person, that's their head, and you're shooting at their body, they're not going to die. You want to take a little extra time, even if they're moving, you might want to strafe as you're shooting, because that might actually help you, or move the aimer as you're shooting. That also helps sometimes, I've noticed. Not in circles, obviously, but maybe move it a little bit to keep it on balance or something. That way it's not going all around the screen. But try to line up your shot with their head as most accurately as possible, because if you can get that one shot to hit their head, they're dead. At least in the video games, and more likely in airsoft, unless you're doing a 2 or 3 shot, whatever. But this is the setup of a normal army sniper, bolt action sniper rifle, and a pistol. They're usually not suppressed, and even on this game the M9 suppressed shows up on the minimap. I don't know why, but it does. They usually have a pistol, because the pistol is small, and even in video games it's smaller on your screen than this. If you're trying to clear a building or go through a fatal funnel or anything with this, it's easy to block your screen and not see somebody off to the side, like maybe in that doorway or something, if you're looking this way, and get shot. But this way, it's a lot easier to see, unless you're trying to block, then maybe. But it's a lot easier to see everything, and you have a little bit more of a peripheral vision. Obviously your TV isn't curved, so you can't really have peripheral vision, but it makes it kind of close, you know, as much as you can at least. well, yeah, that's tactical sniping tips, urban sniping tips. Alpha 1, over now.